Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Durst Momsen for Life. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the 2007 film White Noise 2, The Light. Now, the way the film plays out, it's, I guess, maybe got in a couple theaters. It was going to get into more, but I always think of this as a direct-to-video movie, direct-to-video sequel. But it's filmed like a theatrical production. I mean, it's a good-looking movie. Like, there is some money behind the production. So it doesn't, to me, it did not look like a direct-to-video film. In terms of, like, the cameras they used and the look of it. I don't know how else to explain it. This seems like a movie that there was a script called The Light or something to that nature, and then someone got it and said, well, we'll put White Noise 2 because the first one was a surprise hit, so because it's a title people recognize, then maybe people will go see it. But it has nothing to do with the first film. I mean, there is white noise as a visual aesthetic, but the EVP phenomena isn't really a big deal in this, because it's pretty much stuff happens and our lead, he becomes the receiver and starts seeing things as well as hearing things, all sorts of stuff. Before I go on, I would say I like the film. I do like the film. It's not a great film. I'd probably give it, I don't know, 3 out of 5 stars, but I think it's much better than the first one. I think this story is a lot more interesting. There's some stuff I'm not big on with the story, but it is a much more interesting story. I thought Nathan Fillion does a much better job as the lead. Michael Keane kind of felt like he was sleepwalking through the first film. Here, I bought Nathan Fillion's performance a bit more. I like Katee Sackhoff, who becomes a little bit of a love interest later on. And I thought the story just much more interesting. And the ending, I don't want to say satisfying, but it felt a bit more in groove with the story compared to White Noise. The ending here is like, okay, I did it. White Noise 1's ending, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Awful, awful movie. An awful ending to that movie. Plus, it's not like, oh, let's have this depressing, stupid ending, then let's have the song, Define Gravity, I know you're out there. So, like, what the hell tone difference is this between that? Anyway, that's the first film. I reviewed the first film. But here, I thought the story was a bit more interesting. Even from the get-go. Craig Fairbrass, he was in the Stolen from Cliffhanger. I believe he was the guy who beat the hell out of Michael Rooker, kicking him. I think it's a soccer game or football. And he's saying all this stuff about the kicker and keeps kicking Michael Rooker. I tell Rooker, gets to come up as upon them. Show's over, asshole. He comes in to this diner. Nathan Fillion's there with his wife and kid. You tell his wife and kid there's something up with them. They're not feeling well. But before they leave, Craig comes in and shoots to both of them. And Nathan's there just stunned as he doesn't know what to do. What the hell's going on? And then Craig goes and apologizes to him and shoots himself. I'm like, what a way to open the story. So throughout, he feels guilt. He wishes he could have done more, as in that he wasn't frozen and all that stuff. He feels bad, and he decides to end his life, taking too many pills. He does so, but then he's able to be brought back. But when he's brought back, something came with him, where he starts seeing this aura, this light on people. Which maybe looks a bit too bright. Maybe they could have been done a bit more subtle. But he sees this aura on people, and it's like only certain people. he comes to realize the certain people he sees glowing will soon die. And then it becomes almost like a little superhero movie for a little bit, where he's saving people, and ultimately he does save 3 people. One of them is a nurse, Katee Sackhoff, who helped him. And then he realizes that might not have been the best decision. He realizes a bit of the mystery of what happened to his family, that his family was saved by Craig Fairbrass. So he's like, well, why did this guy save my family, but then decide to kill them? And the story goes on from there. And that's what I mean. Like, I remember when I first saw this, and even watch it now, I'm like, okay, this is an interesting story. I think some people may be put off with the changing bits of the story, because it's a mystery, and then it's a superhero bit, and then it's a Final Destination meets the devil type of possession story. So it definitely takes you on a roller coaster ride. Some people may not be down for that, where they wish it just strayed over here more, and picked a side. I can understand that, but again, the story I thought was interesting to me. I like Nathan Fillion as an actor. I thought it's really a crime that he did not get to do a lot of movies where he was the lead. Slither was one of them. I do like Slither. He did that TV show. I never did watch much of that TV show. Was it Castle? There was one show he did that didn't last long on Fox. I think it was just called Drive, which I never saw. It looked interesting, but I never saw that one. But yeah, that's one of those things where I'm watching the film and going, this guy, he should have done a lot more. I know this sounds stupid, but it's like, man, I wish he would have gotten to do a lot more stuff. I really do. Yeah, I think it's a shame he didn't get to do as much as he... That's just me, though. Well, I mean, a lot of people, wanted him for Green Lantern. Hell, they wanted him for Uncharted. As Nathan Drake, he would have been perfect for that, but sadly, that never came to be. And maybe that's one of the reasons why I do like the film. It's great to see Nathan Fillion in this lead. The effects actually look a bit better than in White Noise 1. They're not fantastic, but for a film that I always think of as a direct-to-video film, like there's a tunnel where he goes through, like when he's first ready to die, and then he's pulled back. I think I like that with each paddle, like he's falling back, and like a little piece of his spirit like comes out, or being sucked back in, however you want to put it. With each electric paddle, I thought Patrick Lussier, who directed this, who actually directed Drive Angry with The Cage, he was an editor that worked with Wes Craven a lot. I think in the Scream films he worked on editing. I think Patrick Lussier also directed My Bloody Valentine remake. Yeah, as well as Drive Angry, yeah. But I thought he did a pretty decent job showcasing. It has a little bit of that action flavor at times, especially in the third act. One thing I don't like is the tendency to have these very cheap jump scares. Well, you have these like flash bits. I don't think that was needed. They're cheap. They just come off as cheap. They come off as annoying. Like, come on, dude. That's what comes off as. Like, come on, dude. Really? That's what you're doing? Really, man? Really? I'm just not gung-ho about that stuff. Now, like I said, the story is interesting to me. In order to get into that, I did the spoilers. Now, I did spoil a bit of it, but more so where, like I said, he tries to end his life. It doesn't work out. He's brought back. He sees these people. He realizes, he tries to save some of them, including this guy on a railroad. Now, granted, when the train hits the guy, it's not the best effect. I think that's actually one of the weakest. But the way it's edited, I thought worked decently. Because, I mean, the guy does have... His job was in editing. So I think he knew how to pace that scene. It's just... With the impact of the guy and the way the guy flies, it just wasn't the best effect. But overall, I didn't mind that scene. And like I say, he starts saving these people. He saves one guy from being hit by this car who's driving all crazy. He saves this other guy from these group that's ready to throw him off this damn bridge. He saves Katee Sackhoff from this murder, which I thought, again, is well shot, decently edited. So again, it's what it's trying to do is he saves these people, and then the aura is gone. Then he finds out again Craig, who killed his family, had saved them before. Goes to talk to him. Finds out about this thing, and reading some of his notes at his place, that it goes back to the Bible and how it's like 3 days for the resurrection of Jesus. Well, what's what's the devil doing? I guess if one rises, one may fall. It's about how after 3 days, the devil will possess them. Because if you look at Lucifer, his name means light bringer. So the way I took it was, oh, okay. So, what's one of the things the devil says? It's a trickster. Loves playing tricks on you. What would be a hell of a way to trick someone? Make them think they're a superhero, saving people. It's like, psych, bitch. I put this light on people, so you're gonna try to save these people, but I'm gonna come down and sneak in their body and kill a lot more. Thanks, buddy. Fuck off. If that was the case, I kind of wish they played more of like the devil being this trickster dick. I don't know how you would incorporate more of that into it, but that's the way I interpret it. I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of smart of the devil. And of course, Nathan Fillion was only trying to do the right thing. That's why I feel sorry for the character. Because, think about it. Your family is killed. You can't do it anymore. You're brought back. You think you're saving people. And you're Anthony Michael Hall from the Dead Zone. Then you realize, oh my god, by doing this, 2 of them go crazy, get possessed, and cause more people to die. So he's got to go take care of Katee Sackhoff. Again, that's an interesting story that I haven't really seen told much in that way. And that's what I liked about this. I'm like, that's kind of a intriguing, different take on the whole devil possession thing. There's been so many of those type of films made. It's like to see a different aspect, different look, different direction of that. So I think that's what I appreciate. And yes, there are times it does seem a bit silly. Yes. Like when he goes to see Craig Fairbrass's place and his wife, or his ex-wife at this point, okay, you can look around. And apparently Craig, he was also studying up on this stuff. And all these TVs, these computer screens, monitors, all covered up. As Nathan Fillion's looking, one by one the sheets on the monitors kind of fall away. And the white noise permeates each one. So it's kind of this, it does, I like the way it's shot, but I get it, like, oh my god, the monitors are going to kill him. There's not many times that your lead character is haunted by a mob of monitors. If they drew lays and walked towards him, that'd be the cream of the crop. But I did, but it didn't bother me. If it did to you, I understand, but it didn't bother me. I do like he put, the director wanted to put a bit of pizzazz in certain scenes, so like each of the monitors explode and short circuit. the thing with, like, they keep seeing ghosts, I got confused as to who these ghosts were. Because at first, okay, these are the ghosts haunting him for the deaths he inadvertently caused. But then some of them are people that he saw was going to die. Like this guy on a bike. And then sees him later with, yep, he's dead now. So, and then some of these ghosts I don't recognize. I think this is actually before. Was it before the first guy he saved caused some deaths? Like, he would see these ghosts, I'm like, okay, he's seeing these ghosts, but where are these ghosts coming from? If it was like, okay, the ghosts are the ones, like American Werewolf in London, in a way. Whereas a werewolf, he killed people, then they keep haunting him, and until he set things right or whatever, then they'll stop haunting him. If they went a bit that direction, maybe that would make a bit more sense, but then it's like, oh, we'll just have these random ghosts so we get these scares in, but it wasn't really scary. So, I wasn't 100% on the ghost stuff, like who is who and why is this happening, and it just has to be in there because there's gotta be ghosts. Like, I think that's a bit of the script that could have been fine-tuned, could have been touched up a few notches. But I still like the story. I think it was fairly well shot. I do like the actors. I think when Nathan and T. Sackhoff, they're bonding, that they work well together. She seems very nice and jovial and diddly, but not in an annoying way, and definitely not boring to look at. Or, she's a good actress, likable. At the finale, in the spoilers, he tries to kill Katee Sackhoff. He doesn't want to, but he knows he have to. The cops shoot him. They take her in an ambulance. And again, the way it's shot like a big budget production. Well, the camera pans from his dead body. I guess his ghost goes through the TV, and then it goes through all the electrical telephone pole posts, and each time there's a big spark here, big spark there. And the sparks are done practically, so I appreciate some practical effects being used in this, as he's pretty much chasing the ambulance. Because he's got to kind of save her soul. Kind of has to end her life but save her soul. I thought that was a nice moment that happened. Nice emotional moment. And then he's got to save... Although, this is where it was a bit weird for me. Usually it's... these people get possessed and they cause a bunch of deaths. That wasn't really the case here. Granted, they would not be here in the first place if he had not saved Katee Sackhoff. This ambulance would not be here in the first place. But she's not causing the ambulance to go crazy. The worst fucking ambulance driver in the history of movies is what's causing this. Because he's driving it and he's like this. No, he's like... Hey, everything right back there? Even when Nathan Fillion has to end her life, and she sees someone who she loves, and her spirit goes away, and Nathan Fillion has to go in front of the ambulance, he dashes up, and the guy's still here. What? I'm like, so it wasn't her possessed that would cause the deaths. It was the worst fucking ambulance driver ever. Like, if somehow she was driving it, and then he did it, and then she dies, and then... maybe physically, for some reason, can't grab the wheel, so you go... Well, actually, no, that wouldn't work either. Well, I mean, have it be... he's trying to fight her with it, he ends her life, and then he swerves the ambulance, so it goes out of the way. Like, maybe something like that would have worked a bit better. or something. I don't know. But you need the moment where he stood there and the guy freaks out, which I think is a cool shot. Good ambulance flipping over scene. Shot well, edited well, so I understand the environment, and you see that it swerves so it doesn't hit this bus and all these people are saved. So it's a guy fixing the wrongs that he inadvertently caused because he was tricked by the devil, so I can't blame him for that. It's like, it made me feel sorry for Nathan Fillion. And he looks up and he sees his family, and you get the idea he's going to go up to see his family, and things will be alright for him, happy for him, which is good. Granted, then it cuts to Trey Fairbrass, and I kind of feel sorry for his character because he's not really a bad guy too. Because he saved people. He had a wife, he had a kid, he was saving people. Apparently some drunk driver or someone almost killed him. Or if not, it was an automobile accident. He came back, he saved people, then he had to end them just like he did. But he's still being haunted by these ghosts. Which, by the way, if the ghosts haunt you until you set things right, what does Trey Fairbrass have to set right so the ghosts stop haunting him? Are there other people that you need to kill, or something? I mean, that's what with the story. Like, if it says they'll keep haunting you until you set things right, what would Trey Fairbrass need to set things right? It's like we put it in there just to have another whoo jump scare. And I don't know if it's supposed to go, oh yeah, that guy's being haunted. But I'm like, that guy's not really a bad guy either. He was just in an unfortunate situation where he had to do that at the beginning. Otherwise, these people would be possessed by the devil and kill others. And you tell he's filled with sorrow about it. Granted, he was a bit of a dick when Nathan Fillion does see him and he starts attacking the guy. Which even that felt out of character too, if that was the case, where why would Trey Fairbrass be attacking Nathan Fillion if he's sorry about what he did? He would understand Nathan Fillion's grief. So why would he try to choke out Nathan Fillion? So I guess because you're a dick like that, fine, you could be haunted, fine with me, but that's what I mean, like, there's some stuff with the script I think could have been fine-tuned, could have been fixed up a bit. And I did, like, someone mentioned on my review of White Noise 1, they didn't like this one because it felt like anything Nathan Fillion did was pointless. Which is true. I mean, you think about it, if Nathan Fillion's character died at the beginning, it would have been fine because he was still going to heaven, he was seeing his wife and kid, and the people, the first two he saved, killed, they'd also be alive too, so those damn doctors don't save people. If you save people, they'll see the light, and the devil will trick their ass to save people, and then they will lead other people to die. So doctors don't save people's lives. If they tried to end it, just let it go. Let it be. Is that the message? Patrick Lussier, whoever, is that the message? If people try to end it, just let them die. Otherwise the devil don't trick their ass. So that's for me. So I did it, and that's why these little conflicting bits kind of give it like a lesser rating. Also, like, Nathan Fillion has a buddy who just disappears. Like, his buddy's in it throughout a bit. His buddy's the one who is able to hear the phone message and then get him help. He's the one saying, that stuff you're explaining, it sounds like some superhero Captain Tight Pants bullshit. Something to that effect, which I thought was kind of a funny line. And then there's like one or two bits. Then that guy just disappears. Just disappears. So I thought that was weird. Like, they bring up this character in the first half, and the second, especially the third act, he just kind of disappears. You think he'd be more prominent to the story in the third act? I did. I keep... That worst ambulance driver ever, man, just makes me laugh. I mean, that's just that's just having a stupid idiot as a driver. That's not the devil doing anything. So I do like the film though. For the most part, I like the story. I like the two lead performances. I like some of the way the film is shot and edited. And I still like it a lot more than the first White Noise, despite its flaws. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye bye for now.